what did you get as your domain and range? What did you get for your domain? Say it again.
4042.
So 40. Remember, repeats. Do I have to write it again?
No.
No, right? So just. Okay, so just 4, 0, and 2. That would be my domain. Remember, your domain is all your x's, right? Range. What did y'all get for range?
6543.
6, 5, 4, 3. Good. Those should have been your answers for domain and range. All right. Today is an easy lesson. Okay, we're evaluating functions. Okay, the first thing we're gonna go over, all right, and y'all should already know this. Okay, but it's called PEMDAS. Okay, y'all should have seen this earlier in your math education. Okay, so we have PEMDAS. Okay, so your P, the P stands for parentheses. Okay, so that means you do everything in the parentheses first. Okay, so in parentheses I'm going to say do this first. Right, so you do the math in there first. Okay, your E stands for exponents. Okay, so if you have any exponents, I'm going to put it over here to the side, like 2 to the second, or 5 to the third, right? You got to do, that's an exponent. The exponent's a number on top. Okay, you do those next, right? Now you have multiplication, can't spell. You have multiplication or division. I'm going to say whichever comes first. Whichever comes first. Okay, then you have addition and subtraction. Same thing, addition or subtraction, whichever comes first. Okay, so those are the rules that you use in order to solve an equation, or you're simplifying an equation. Okay, so now we're going to evaluate functions. Okay, in my first example, I have f of x equals 4x plus 2. Okay, so we have f of x equals 4x plus 2. Okay, we are going to find f of 8. Okay, does everyone have the PEMDAS thing so I can move it up?
Yeah.
Right? So now, all we're doing today, okay, they're going to give you an equation, right, and they're going to give you something that says find this. Okay, you are taking this value and you're plugging it in for x. Okay, so when I rewrite this, or first of all, how many of y'all seen this already? Nobody? Okay. So when I rewrite this, right, I'm going to rewrite it. I'm going to have f of 8, right, I'm just plugging it in for x, equals 4, I'm going to leave parentheses there for the x, what am I gonna put in place of x?
8.
8, right? So instead of the x, I'm writing 4 times 8. Okay? Right again, f of 8 equal, now we're just simplifying it, okay? Remember, you gotta follow the rules, right? So there's parentheses, but it's just a number inside. Exponents, there's no exponents. Multiplication comes first, right? So I'm gonna do the multiplication. 4 times 8 gives me 32. Then you just bring down the plus 2. So you have f of 8 equals 32 plus 2 is 34. Okay? So now, we're finding values for x. I mean, we're simplifying it for x, right? So now going to give us a value to plug in for x, and all you're doing is plugging it in. Okay?
Dividing.
What do you mean dividing?
Like, do we divide this? No, we're not doing it.
No, that's the answer. So it's saying like if 8 is x, the answer to your equation is 34. Right? For the value of x, it's 34. Okay? So saying this right here, right? F of x is another way of saying y. Okay? So, and y is your range, right? So like they'll give you your domain. Eventually what we're going to get to, they're going to give you your domain, right? And now you're going to have to find your range with the equation that they give you. Okay? So we're going to do a couple more of these, and then I'll show you exactly what I'm talking about. Okay, number 2. All right, h of x equals 4x minus 2. Okay, and we're trying to find h of negative 9. All right, so again, all I do is I take what they gave me, I'm going to write it right under here, h of negative 9. Okay, what number am I going to replace x with? Negative 9, right? So I write this out. 4, in parentheses, I'm going to put negative 9 minus 2. Okay? Again, you just do the multiplication first. So you have h of negative 9 equals, so the reason you have calculator with you is so you can do the math if you don't know it, okay? So you have 4 times negative 9 gives me negative 36, and you bring your minus 2 down. Okay? So h of negative 9 equals negative 36 minus 2 gives you negative 38. Okay? And if you don't understand why, that's why you have a calculator right there. Okay, pretty simple, right? You just got to figure out the math part, and that's why you have a calculator. You can use it to plug in the numbers. Right? You can literally put it in just like this, right? And it'll give you the answer. Okay? You got to know how to set it up. All right? Number 3. F of x equals 4x plus 1. And we need to find f of 3. Go ahead and work on that. I'll give you 1 minute. right, what'd y'all get? 13, okay, let's check it. Right, so I tell you f of 3 equals, remember I'm replacing x with 3. So 4 times 3 plus 1. F of 3 equals 4 times 3 gives me 12 plus 1. F of 3 equals 13. Good. All right, now, so moving on, we're going to go to a table, okay? So, they will give you a table, right? You just copy the table down, okay? So you have your X, you have your Y, okay, so your table, they'll give you this, they'll say, use f of x equals 2x plus 4 to find your range.
Good morning, teaching staff. This is safety week. We will be conducting a series of drills throughout the week. The first drill we will be initiating at this time is a hold drill. Hold is used primarily for medical emergencies where we just need to keep people in the room so that responders can do their job. But it can also be used for any emergency that doesn't require additional security measures. So we will be initiating a hold drill at this time. We need to clear the hallways, remain in rooms until the drill is clear. And it's business as usual. Close and lock the door. Teachers, account for your students, account for adults, but it will be business as usual. We also need the AED team to respond to the cafeteria at this time. If you're on the AED team, respond to the cafeteria at the time. We have a simulated medical emergency in the cafeteria.
Too late, I know it's too late.
It's over.
All right, so they'll give you a table, right? And they'll say, this is your domain, find your range, right? And they'll give you this, like an equation, okay? So all you gotta do is, each one, you gotta plug it in, right? So I'm gonna do the first one. Okay, so I have f of negative 17, all right, equals 2 times negative 17 plus 4. Okay? Like I said, once the numbers get where you're like, oh, I can't do this in my head, do it on the calculator, okay? You can plug it on the calculator. The way it looks just like this, right here. So you put 2 times negative 17, right? And it'll give you your answer, okay? If I went all the way through, 2 times negative 17 would be negative 34 plus 4. Okay, so you have f of negative 17 equals negative 30. Is that what y'all got on the calculator? Anyone that did it? Yes? Okay. So once you get that, where do you think this answer goes? in the first y, right? Because we're trying to find out your range. You used negative 17 right here, right, f of negative 17, so it goes right here in your y. So negative 30. Okay? Then you do it again for the next one. So you have f. We're taking negative 11. Oh, we're using it here. So f of negative 11 equals, again, 2 times negative 11 plus 4. Okay, 2 times negative 11 gives me negative 22 plus 4. So f of negative 11 equals negative 18. Okay, and again, you take that and we enter it right here in our range. Okay, we can do the next one. You have f of 0 equals 2 times 0 plus 4. 2 times 0 gives me 0, plus 4 comes down. F of 0, 0 plus 4 gives me 4. F of 0 is 4. So I write that down. Do the next one, that's all we're doing. F of 2 equals 2 times 2 plus 4. 2 times 2 gives me 4, plus 4 comes down. So you have f of 2 equals 4 plus 4 gives me 8. Okay, like I said, I'm doing all the math, right, writing it all out, but you can do it in the calculator. Once you set it up, you can do it in the calculator, just put equals that, whatever it is. Okay, last one you have is 4, so you have f of 4 equals 2 times 4 plus 4. Again, you do the multiplication first. 2 times 4 is 8, plus 4 comes down. F of 4 equals 8 plus 4 gives me 12. Okay, and that goes up here. Okay, now I have two questions. One, is this a function or no?
Yes.
How do we know?
Because it's not matched,
There's no x's repeating.
There's no, what'd you say?
There's no x's repeating.
There's no x's repeating, right? All these are different x's, so it is a function, okay? What's my domain?
Negative 17, negative 11, 0, 2, 4.
Good. What's my range?
Negative 30, negative 18, 4, 8, 12.
Okay, hopefully more than one person knows. All right? But yes, okay, so that's how you do that. All right?